Enjoy learning about our Southwest Florida wildlife? Well, then you need to head out to the Peace River Wildlife Center.
That's right. That's also where you will find Executive Director Robin Jenkins and some of her friendly little cute and slow critters, I would say. Robin, great to have you back.
Thank you.
So we already learned a lot in the commercial break. We had like a million questions for you about these little guys because I don't know if I've ever seen them this small. So tell us who you got today.
These are tiny little hatchling gopher tortoises. They're all from one clutch.
I think there's 7 of them in here, right?
That's what you call them, a clutch?
A clutch. They had, normally the eggs are laid at the apron of a burrow.
Okay.
The soft sand that gets kicked out while the mom is building the burrow, and the eggs are laid up there. They don't sit on their eggs like a bird does to incubate them, but rather the sun and the sand keep them warm. Okay. The temperature.
How long do they stay eggs for?
They incubate for about 30 days.
Oh.
I mean, 3 months, 90
3
days.
months. Okay, 90 days.
90 days. And the temperature of the sand determines what sex the babies are.
Really?
If it's above 85, they're females. If it's under 85, they're males.
So at different times of the year, I guess, are you more likely to get more boys than
and
girls?
I suppose that, you know, if one area is in more shade, more shaded than another, those babies might be males.
What is their chance of survival in the wild once they're hatched?
It's relatively slim, honestly, because they're rather soft. And they are
like a good meal,
predated.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, a lot of things can eat them. The burrows themselves of the adult gopher tortoises host probably around 200 to 300 commensal species. Other species live in the burrow, either with the tortoise, or the tortoises often have more than one burrow. So other species will live in the burrow that's not being inhabited by the adult gopher tortoise.
That's fascinating.
That is interesting.
These guys were found when a huge tractor had crushed an active nest, and someone went to make sure that the adult hadn't been buried alive in there, which can happen, and they happened upon a baby. So then they started digging more and found another baby. There's 7 of these little hatchlings were about 2 feet deep in that nest.
We never found the mom, I guess?
No, she was not found.
And something else you said was really fascinating is that they don't reach maturity until 15 years.
Right, they don't reach sexual maturity. They live, 50, 75, 100 years.
Well, because that's what I was asking you about, how long, how often they can breed and make babies, and you were saying, I mean, how often?
They can reproduce every year once they're sexually active. Because all mom does basically is lay the eggs, and then the babies are on their own. And with a clutch of 4 to 7 eggs, even if all 7 of them hatch, the survival rate is unfortunately quite.
I'm thinking they're going to have
low.
a good chance of survival now that they're with you. So that is the goal, obviously, to get them back in the wild. Will these guys make it back?
These guys are probably going to go back this week.
Oh, you said about young.
That soon.
They're
Robin.
really,
I know you said they were soft.
Come on now.
it really, we're not permitted
We're not
to.
trying to make you feel guilty.
My babies, they're not ready to go. Oh, I just sent my daughter off to college.
Off to college. You know what I'm talking about.
Where is a safe place to release them?
Well, ideally you don't mess with them at all. They are precocial when they're born, which means they can take care of themselves. You see a baby gopher tortoise,
so you
leave it
Robin.
alone. So I say. These guys were found 2 feet deep, and they're normally not that deep. So they were brought to us to make sure that they didn't have, aspiration pneumonia or some other issue. They are perfectly healthy and happy little dudes, so we are going to get them back.
Well, as we close, we only have about a little less than a minute left, though. People want to come out, and it is such a great place, to find out about Southwest Florida wildlife.
Definitely. We have over 120 animals on permanent resident display out there for educational purposes. We are at 3400 Ponce de Leon Parkway, which is the far west end of Marion Avenue in Punta Gorda. We're in Ponce de Leon Park. We're open 7 days a week from 11 to 4.
You guys depend on a lot of volunteers, don't you?
Definitely. Always need volunteers. We had volunteers crochet those little baby bird nests.
Oh, no.
Those are 2 of our resident eagles.
Sometimes you can get involved in even naming a few of your residents, right?
We do. We have had contests in the past.
Ooh, we need to name these guys.
There's 7 of them. So
Stephanie, Carly, Robin.
Stephanie,
Amy is our next guest.
All all very
right.
beautiful names.
All right, so certainly come in. Again, always looking for volunteers, always looking for donations.
Absolutely.
I know it takes a lot of
We're
money to take care of these
donation-driven.
guys. And
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Robin, thank you. We love having you
Thanks,
here.
guys.
Great to see you again.
She's got to leave now to go release these guys. Jeez, only after a week. All right, up next, Fight Fair.
Yes, the do's and don'ts of managing conflict with your kids in this week's parenting guide. Stick around.